Back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be doing a live review. So if you are watching this on playback, um, I usually try and go through the review and then kind of do a little bit of a hangout after. It's kind of how I've always done it. Let me readjust my camera here. Hopefully everybody can see me okay. And yeah, today we're going to be covering Footloose from the G.I. Joe Classified line. It's a figure I recently picked up. Woodman, what's going on? Happy 4th of July, buddy. Happy 4th to you, good sir. Thank you for modding, as always, Woodman. I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, so recently got Footloose, and I got a couple other of the recent released classified figures. I was pretty excited to see that we're getting more and more of these guys in the summertime. I feel like, it's like for the Joes, I feel like usually summertime I think of like, I don't know, the Joes. I don't know why. But I think that's like when I was a kid. For some reason, I always got like the most Joes during the summertime. I don't know why. But yeah, we've got Footloose here. He is footloose and fancy free, as he's well known to be. Footloose is definitely my top 5 Joes for some reason. Oh yeah, I mean it's the aesthetic is very real world military as far as I understand why a lot of people do like him, but yeah, I wouldn't say he's in my top anything. I mean he's a cool character. Um he's like one of those characters kind of like Leatherneck for me, where they're aesthetically they're cool as far as real world goes, but like never been in really my top 5 as far as or top 10 or in the higher tier um characters from GI Joe. But still really cool though. Still a really cool character. He's got the little shamrock, red shamrock on his shoulder there. Sorry, I'm like brain dead today. And then over here, let me move my camera up actually. Over here we have the Stars and Stripes with 6 stars as far as the logo goes on the other shoulder. Just kind of taking a look over at the figure. Looks pretty good. I'm not a big fan of this though. I can't, for some reason this just looks like it's painted on, but it looks like there actually is sculpted lines for the boot straps on each side, so it actually is sculpted in, and it just looks kind of like it's just painted on, even though it is sculpted. So I mean, I can't really take any points away for that because it is actually sculpted in. He actually comes with quite a bit of accessories for his loadout and everything. So he's actually pretty cool as far as that goes. He comes with his signature rocket launcher, um, his AR assault rifle, a removable dagger, which is really nice. And it is a nice tight fit there too. Really nice snug fit, so it doesn't come out or anything like that. And then he's also has a removable rocket, which does fit in there snugly. And then he also has his sidearm right there. Take a good look at that. Good look at the goose and the gander right there. And then he's got his, hold on a second. get that back in there. And he's got his backpack. I'll take the backpack off. You can take a good look at that. Very nicely done. Happy 4th of July to everybody who is joining the stream and to those of you watching this on playback. It's got not a lot of paint on it. It's just pretty much just like a green plastic, but it's fine. You could always go in and kind of paint this up, which I'm probably going to do. Canteen is just kind of like a plasticky green, but it looks fine. It's not a deal breaker by any means. And then we've seen this rifle with Grunt. I think initially Grunt had this rifle first, and then we've seen him with others. Sorry, I have like weird dirt underneath my nails. It's very strange. I was outside chopping wood, so I probably have weird dirt everywhere. But there you go. It does have a removable magazine, so you have that. And then he also has a extra mag in the back, which is also removable. Let's get this out of his hand. There's the rocket launcher, which I'm pretty sure this is an all new sculpt for the rocket. It does come with a plastic strap, which is, I might actually go back and paint this brown just to kind of give it a little bit of a differentiation from the rest of it. Give it a nice leather strap. I think he's got the little like shark teeth and eye on the side. Looks good. Rest of it's just kind of like a black plastic. And then the rocket itself is just painted green right here, but it's just a black plastic in general as far as that goes. I'll go back to the knife really quick and give you a better, closer look at the knife here. It's all black plastic with a silver paint for the blade. So there's that. And I already showed you the pistol, showed you the mag. The only other accessory that he does come with, I'm just kind of looking everything over, is his helmet, which is removable and actually does come off his head, or not on his head in the package, so you'll be able to see him without that. It is a tight fit, and trying to get the helmet off, you kind of have to work the front, then work the back a little bit, and then there goes the head. So I'm going to attempt to get this off. And I will get this off. You will come off your head. Probably easier if I just pop that back on. It is a not the tightest fit with the neck peg, but it does stay secure enough on there. I'm trying not to snap this strap going over his nose. It's not one to work with me today. Here, I'll try to work the ear. And then, yeah, the head's... All right, I'm going to have to do this off camera. But I will talk to you guys while I do it. How's that? But yeah, I'm pretty excited. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. What do you guys think about the HasLab, the classified HasLab for what you call it, Frostbite? But there you go. There's the head of Footloose, and I think it's a pretty good little update for an unmasked head for Footloose. I think it looks pretty good. No issues there whatsoever. I like the Woodland BDUs, and these are still BDUs. So there you go with that. And he does come with so you can pop these hands off and remove his, I guess, a little bracelet or whatever you want to call that. I have to admit, the Snowcat looks pretty damn cool. Are you getting it? I don't know. I'm on the fence if I'm going to. I passed on the last two. I am kind of kicking myself a little bit for the passing on the Dragonfly, but I'll eventually get one down the road. I'll probably have to pay a little bit more, but I do want the actual Dragonfly itself. Even if I just get the Dragonfly and Wild Bill, I'll be happy. because I have the other figures already anyway. But if I do end up getting the whole set with the extra figures, I might I don't know, might do something with the figures. I don't know. Maybe I'll do like a giveaway or something like that. That would be nice. But you can remove the hands and remove the bracelet and the watch, which actually the watch is, I don't know if this is gonna be able to catch this, but the watch actually does have a time stamped on there. I can't see what it is from this angle, but Samuel Edwards, Footloose is dope. I got him last weekend at a toy show in Hickory, North Carolina. Oh, okay, fellow Carolinian. The Snowcat is dope, but will probably pass. I missed the Dragonfly too. What's happening, everybody? Oh yeah, yeah, same here. The Snowcat looks really, really good. I think there's a lot of amenities to it. There's a lot of little like fun creature comforts when it comes to the Snowcat. I think more so than the Dragonfly. Like the Dragonfly is kind of, I think if I actually had to pick between the two, I'd probably lean more towards the Snowcat than the Dragonfly. Just because I think it offers more features. It's larger. It can hold more characters on it if you want to. It can be used as a APC or as a assault vehicle if you needed to, because you can actually remove the missiles from the back. But we'll talk about more about that as we go on here. Yeah, the unlocks they're fine. I kind of wish that we would have got version 2 of Stalker instead of just like, oh, Arctic Flint and Arctic Lady J, and I'm like, eh. But I do like the Bivouac. The Bivouac looks really good. I do like that. That looks pretty cool. I feel like that should be the first tier, is the Bivouac. But I'm sure all tiers will be unlocked. Usually with all classified HasLabs, they've all unlocked every tier, so there shouldn't be a problem there. I made my own Bivouac a few years ago out of cardboard and some really thin foam. Nice, man. Yeah, I mean that's the way to go. Because that keeps you creative. It keeps you creative, and it helps with gaining more creativity down the road. Let me go to another comment. Nylock says, tempted to create a Bivouac. Yeah, go for it, man. You should. Give it a go. I mean, worst case scenario, worst case scenario, it's not to your liking, you just restart, do another one. No big deal. That's a worst case scenario. But yeah, thanks for the comment, Nylock. The helmet, whoa, as I throw it across the review station here. The helmet itself, I got kind of confused because I thought this was removable. I don't think that this is removable. It's not on a hinge either. You can't swivel this down. It just kind of is stagnant and just stays there. But it is actually glued into the helmet, so you can't really do much with the nods on his helmet. So that's unfortunate. But taking a look at the sculpt, looks really cool with the camo that he is very well known for. That's kind of his signature of how it's Footloose, and it is on a updated helmet. So that's really cool. So I actually like that. I like the little updates that the Classified does, even though that they use like some older designs, but they kind of update it a little bit. I do wish that they would go just a little bit further with some of the designs, but they have done that with some designs and then redone them with classic designs. And I think that's where the money is. I mean, you're then getting two sections of the fandom, because you definitely have a section of the fandom that wants more modern looking Joes, and then you have a big section of the fandom that wants the classic looks. So I still think giving modern interpretations and classic interpretations is a moneymaker on both ends. So why not do it, you know? All right, so as far as his articulation is gonna go, his articulation goes like as so. With the helmet off, the head can look up about that far. He can look down. He can tilt side to side. He can a little bit. Let's see. Happy for, blah, 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 I can't talk. Happy 4th of July there, Terry. Appreciate you, brother. Happy 4th of July to everybody, by the way. Even the my little raisins are saying Happy 4th of July. Double T. TT. Terry Turner. Let's see if he's got drive turkeys. Oh, yeah, we got some gobbles up in here. So we got some turkeys. Arms go up about that far. They go down. We've got a full 360 rotation if you needed to, but he's a human being, so why would you need his arm to go 360? It's just unnecessary. He does have a butterfly joint, which is actually a little bit more predominant than some others, which is actually really nice. So he actually can get his hands to touch if you really kind of push it. Even with the vest on, you can still kind of get him really in there. So that's actually pretty good. He's going to come in for a hug. He's coming in for a hug. Next up, he's got the butters. No, he doesn't have the butters, but he's got the bicep swivel. He's got his double jointed elbows, which work really well. I don't know if you guys can hear, but there's a ton of fireworks going off, so I love it for the ambiance in the background, especially being a 4th of July review. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hopefully you can. So at the wrist, he's got a lateral hinge joint here. And over here, we've got that wonderful vertical hinge joint. So that's nice. And I can hear bugs tapping on the window trying to get in. You shall not pass. Sorry. But he's got an ab crunch here, which means he's on an older body. I'm not sure which body. I don't think it really matters. But he is on an older body. He's got that old ab crunch. I think he does have a waist swivel right here. You can kind of teeter-totter back and forth and all that fun jazz. He does have drop-down hips, and the leg can go forward that far. It can go back about that far. He can do the splitties better than some Spider-Man figures. Upper thigh swivel, a double-jointed knee. And then he does have a boot swivel, which is actually really nice. A pointy toe, a pointy heely, an ankle pivot, and 2 peg holes at the bottom of his feet, and a partridge in a pear tree. And there you go. With all that jazz. I'm sure you guys already know that. For those of you that already own the figure, but for those of you that don't own the figure and curious, that is his range of motion. Yeah, he's a fun one, you know. I mean, he's not a crazy like, oh man, he's like kind of complicated figure. No, man, he's just kind of chill, you know. He's Footloose, you know. He can hold all of his stuff. He can hold his pistol if you need him to. Samuel says, I thought I was done with Classified after Airborne and Quick Kick. Then I got Leatherneck, and I'm back in. Trying to stay in the 82 to 86 A Real American Hero years of collecting them. Yeah, man. I mean, hey, do your thing, you know? We've when it comes to G.I. Joe, everybody's got their you know, their different ways of collecting, and, you know, go for it. Whatever makes you happy. That's the whole point of all this fun stuff, right? Can't wait for Dial Tone and Law and Order. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Dial Tone. Like, he's sold out everywhere, right? He was supposed to, like, he like came out. It's weird. He came out like a couple months ago, like beginning of the year. Like, there was places that were like releasing him, and then he vanished, and like if you check the secondary market for him, he's like way up in price, like 60 to $100, and I'm like, what is going on with this? And then he's like supposed to have a release date of like August or September. It's weird. He's all over the place. But originally he was supposed to be released with that, I think, first or second wave of this year for classified. It's very strange how they work the waves sometimes, and how sometimes they certain figures get delayed or whatever. I don't know. It's weird how they handle that whole situation. Um, you love those as a kid, yeah. I'm hoping for. There are certain ones now that we got. Um, what you call it? Night Force Crazy Legs. I want a regular Crazy Legs because he was one of those figures where I just played with him the most as a kid. And that's what actually got me into like paratroopers and stuff like that. Well, that and my grandfather actually being a paratrooper in World War II. But that's neither here nor there. Um, Also, sneak peek. I would love a sneak peek. Um, so that would be cool. And wetsuit. Yeah, wetsuit is kind of pivotal. You have to have a wetsuit, you know? I'll put his little backpack back on there. And like some of these, it's weird. Like I feel like his backpack was. Oh, it's in there. His backpack's in there. The classified still hasn't like mastered backpacks. Like sometimes they sit really well on certain figures. Like this gentleman right here, the backpack sits really good on him. And we'll get to his review. Don't worry. Or like the recent Frag Viper that I did. His backpack sits really well on his backpack. Or on his backpack? His backpack sits well on his backpack? No. His backpack sits well on his back. But for some of them, they used to like fall off all the time. It's not so bad, but it's still kind of sticking out a little bit. It looks a little weird. But I mean, how many times are you going to see them from the side? You know, how many times are we going to? And how important is that to really, I guess, point out? I guess, nah, maybe not that important, I guess. So it's not really a deal breaker. The one thing that is kind of weird about him is that, and hold on, I'll get to my point in a second. Samuel says, I put up some new shelves. I put them in alphabetical order of the year they were released. It's been fun swapping out the first releases with the retro carded figures. Yeah, man, it's a lot of fun to do that, you know. I'm big on like when I collect, I kind of like doing things a certain way also. Like thematically things they have to make sense, you know. I like to split them up also into I'll play around a little bit and I'll kind of mix and match, but then I like them to be in eras, specific eras. But for some reason with GI Joe, I just kind of like to put them all together, and then I like to sometimes split them up and put them into like task force subgroups. Like, oh, this would be a team to put together because they complement each other in this way and that way. You know, this person makes up for that person's weakness, and this person makes up for that person's, whatever. I think you guys get my point. But and having designations and stuff like that, it's always fun to play around with GI Joe in that way. But okay, so here's the point I was going to make about this. The weird thing about him is he's got this belt, and you want to center it, right? And it's kind of weird because his holster sits like way to the back, where you would normally, I would assume you would want your holster for your pistol to be like over here, but if you have it off the hip where you can draw it faster and more efficient, then it's like the belt is like kicked over to the side. That's a little weird. That is weird. So that is something to point out as far as a pet peeve for me for the figure. It's like, why did you do that? Because then it's like you put the belt back centered, and his pistol's like way back here, and it would be weird to draw from there. It's like they should have put. It's almost like they should have switched this back here and that back over there. You know. I had them separated at first, and then I wanted to match the order of the 3D Joes. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. But yeah, he can hold everything. The pistol and the rifle have portholes, and obviously this is one big porthole, so self-explanatory there. Like I said, the helmet is a tight fit. The straps are not removable or anything like that. You just kind of have to work it over his face and then kind of recenter it. But it's not hard to do. So there we go. Booful. And the helmet does have a microphone coming from it. Let me ask this question to those of you watching live. Were any of you able to pick up the exclusive breaker? Because I wasn't even able to get a chance to get him. I think he was like sold out way before he even went to the us regular folk, not premium members, which I'm not a premium member of the Hasbro Pulse situation. But yeah, I was just curious if you liked him any better. Negative on Breaker? Yeah, same here. I have the one that came with the Ram cycle, which I think that one's perfectly fine. And I gave him some. I think at the time I gave him some upgraded accoutrement from Gridiron. But he's perfectly fine, I think, the way he is, you know? There you go. There's Mr. Footloose. I mean, he like I said, this probably not going to be a very long review, just because there's not a whole lot to talk about with Footloose. But I think aesthetically he looks great. You didn't try either. No luck on Breaker. Yeah. Anyone got Crystal Ball? Yeah, no, that was another figure that didn't even make it to the regular, non us bottom feeders, the non-premium members. It didn't even make it to us. I think it sold out before Crystal Ball did, and so did Breaker. So I wasn't able to get those. Too many people using their gaming PC to try and buy it. I know, right? All those bots, man. Solo, what's going on, buddy? Solo Center up in the chat. Hello. Yeah, got him. He wasn't too hard to get in Canada in pre-order. Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad you're able to get him. Yeah, us in the U.S. it was a little bit more difficult, which was a little annoying. But all right, so we'll get to some size comparisons here, so you guys can take a goose and a gander at what he is like as far as size wise goes. We'll start off with some Black Series stuff. There's a Republic Commando Trooper, and I'll get another Black Series. I will bring in our obligatory Luke. I love this Luke. He's so good. He's so good. Dagobah Luke. I got some Black Series Customs coming on. I finally got the heads in the mail from Syndicate Customs. Be sure to check him out on Instagram. Not sponsored or anything like that. Just thought I'd throw a fellow customizer a bone there, you know. But there you go with the Black Series comparison. And next we'll do some what should we do next? Yeah, Belly. We'll do some we'll do here's a brand new WWE figure I got. It is the 2002 SummerSlam Shawn Michaels, because you guys know I'm a big Shawn Michaels collector. And we'll do, you know what we'll do? We'll switch it up. No, we'll keep it the same. How's that? Yeah, here we go. We'll go with Ben Reilly Spider-Man on the other side, so you guys can get an idea of how big they are. Thanks for doing this review. Was gonna pass on him because I thought, oops, sorry, because I thought he looked too much like Pedro Pascal in the photos. He looks good live. Yeah, he definitely doesn't look like Pedro in hand, and I'm glad he does look better on screen for you as well. So yeah, last thing I want is a Pedro Pascal anything in my face. That guy is entirely just shoved down our throats. But anyway, so those are some Marvel Legends. We'll get to a couple more Marvel Legends in a second. We'll do some DC stuff here. I'll bring in a build a figure, whatever the hell they're called. There's my poor California raisins. How rude. Anyway, there is Monitor. He is huge compared to little Footloose. And then we'll go, you know what we'll do? We'll go bigger. We'll go bigger. Go bigger, go home, bro. We'll do some Dark Side. I don't know if he's going to fit in frame, but I'll put him in frame. There we go. He's huge mungus. So there's some larger DC figures. We'll do some regulars next. Because I love my DC figures. I can't get enough of them. I love them. I gotta bust out the old DC UCs one day and do like a retrospective on DC UC. I'm trying to grab somebody I haven't done yet. We'll bring in a female. She's really tall though, so keep that in mind also. So there's Power Girl, and then we'll do like classic Hal Jordan. How's that? There you go. So there's a little comparison with those two. Comparisons. And I'll grab Power Girl out of there. Grab her by the boobies. Sit your boobies down. All right, next up we'll do some Jada Toys stuff. We'll do the Wolfman, because I always bring the Wolfman, and I always bring my Invisible Man in there. I just love this Invisible Man. I can't get enough of that guy. I gotta bust out his hands and kind of switch up the hands too. I feel like I always got him in that pose. But I do play around with him though, because I got the hands in the other room. Alright, so there's those. Sorry if I can't see your comment right now. It's because I'm standing up. Then next we'll do here. Here's another classified figure. There's Tiger Force Outback, and there is Obligatory Duke, because he's Obligatory Duke, man. Solo Sinner with the $10 super chat. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much. Catch your content from time to time. Keep it up. Keep it up, dude. Thanks, man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. Gave you a like on that one. Thank you, sir. That is very kind of you, sir. I also do have channel memberships if anybody wants to join. I think I have to update my channel member. It should be, the link for my channel memberships should be on my page. And it's also, I don't think I linked it on this live description, but I will once I finish the stream. It will be updated. So if you do want to join channel memberships, there are giveaways, there are different tiers and stuff like that. There's emojis and all that fun jazz. So, but yeah, so there's the comparisons with some classified stuff. We'll bring in some more classified. There is, we got Frag Viper, and we've got Blowtorch. And his review's coming up soon. He's actually really cool. Cooler than I thought. Because I remember when the 50th anniversary, or actually the 25th anniversary. No, was that 50th? Yeah. No. No, it was 30th, I think. I'm trying to think here. It was 25th. Then they did I think it was 25th anniversary they did one. This is, oh boy, I'm racking my brain here. I think it was 25th. Then they did a 30th or 50th anniversary one. But he peg warmed like crazy. But he's actually really cool. He's got like a ton of sculpting going on here. But there's those two nerds right there. And then next up, we're not done with comparisons yet, brother. We'll do a NECA figure and we'll do a Mattel figure next. We'll do Phantom. He's one of my favorite NECAs. And then here is the 40th anniversary He-Man. I love this He-Man so much. He's glorious. So there you go with those two. And then the 25th, 30th, 50th anniversary. Yeah, that's what I figured, Terry. Thanks for confirming that. I appreciate that. Yeah, so there we go with that. And then we'll bring in an Action Force figure. And we'll bring in a... There you go. There's Condor, my favorite Action Force character. All right. And then there is the Operation Monster Force Dracul. Good old Dracula. And then we'll do... I'm trying to think here. Do. What am I going to do? There's those. And then to round it out, we'll finish it off with Punisher from the Punisher War Journal and the new X Factor Cyclops. 2 in the 50th anniversary. Yeah, that's what it was. That's why he peg warmed. I think, didn't he... he said classic yellow and then jungle green version. That's right. That's what it was. It was the jungle green and which actually did make sense. Like, because you don't want him running around the jungle with like red and yellow. That would not be good. You know? be like the first guy shot at. As far as that goes, you know. But yeah, I actually like the 50th anniversary versions of him. I think they both look pretty good. Solid figures, but this classified one, obviously, you know, it's a larger scale. You're going to be able to see more detail and better range of motion, stuff like that. Especially compared to figures from 2010, 11, that era. Even up to, what was it, 2014, 15? Because then they had like those random 3-packs that they released, and 2-packs that they released, I think back in like 2014, 15. It was like kind of the last of the 4-inch Joe era, which is unfortunate. Those old Toys R Us exclusive ones. But yeah, man, this guy's he's pretty cool. He's a solid figure. He's not the best, but he's cool. You know, you're not gonna poop your pants over him, but he's fun. He looks the part. He's cool. Aesthetically, he'll look good on your shelf. I actually like these they're almost like updated pants for him, because he's got like this big, like almost like knee padded section right here, which kind of breaks up the rest of the sculpt for the paint for the woodland camo, which looks pretty good. And I think if I'm correct, he didn't actually have a woodland camo pattern. He had, I think it was just like I think this is like an update through Classified. I think it was like close to Woodland, but I think it was like more of like a light green, but with no dark green. I think it was just like light green with a regular green for the pants and shirt and stuff on the original figure. So I don't have the original figure present. I do have him, but I don't have him present. But yeah, Footloose is kind of, he's always been one of those guys where you like, you know, he's cool. Oh, thanks, Woodman. He just posted the link for me. Awesome. Thank you so much. Lifesaver, Woodman. You're a friggin' lifesaver. So yeah, if you want to join memberships, Woodman just posted the link for the memberships. And there's multiple tiers too. So you know, if you want, there's I think a 99-cent tier and then a $1.99 or $2.99 tier. So it's up to you, whatever you want to. Or if you just want to support the channel, that's perfectly fine too. You know, not trying to force anybody into doing something they don't want to do. But yeah, if you just want to support the channel, you can just simply like, comment, and subscribe. And those are free to do. And they help. They help a lot. And I appreciate you for it. But yeah, what was I saying? Saying something. I think there was wasn't there a Night Force version of Footloose too? I'm pretty sure I might have had that. I had the Night Force version of Crazy Legs growing up. I think he came in like a multi-pack. But I think maybe later on in the early 2000s, or maybe it was late 90s, they released a Night Force version of Footloose. Maybe I'm just farting in my brain, but you can get him to, and I'm just posing him up here. You can get him to, you know, do his duty as far as firing off that rocket. Work those knees, work that ankle. And that's halfway decent. There you go. It's pretty solid right there for not really spending any time doing that. There we go. I don't want to stare at this. At the other end of the business section of that. Slaughter Marauder version. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, that's right. Because he had the blue. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. That Law RPG launcher. Yeah, right? Looks good. That looked good. Now, obviously, the launcher wouldn't have the rocket sticking out of the end, but you can push it in. I don't want to push it in because I feel like it's going to get stuck in there. So, but yeah. Yeah, I think he's worth it. And I think Amazon has him up for like next day delivery. So, I don't know if that affects like where people live or whatever, but I think it looks really good. And like I said, he's readily available at a lot of places now. So that pose sold it. Yeah, he's fun posing. He can do the thing. He can do the things. I mean, if anything, the rocket would probably be, you know, going in this way, which it can go in either or if you want it to. So you can put it in that way too. There you go. If you want it in that way. And then it looks a little bit more official doing that. For some reason, I don't know what it is, but I think of In the Army Now whenever I think of Law rocket launchers. I don't know why. I think it's because he shot it backwards in the movie. I don't know if you guys have seen In the Army Now with Pauly Shore and what was it? Andy Dick. And what's her name from A League of Their Own that played Kit? God, I love that movie. Anybody ever tell you look like a penis with a little hat on? Sorry. Freaking love that movie. That was like peak between that, Turner and Hooch. That's like peak I think what's wrong with me right now? Tom Hanks. Oh, and Forrest Gump too. You know, he's got so many good movies. The Green Mile, freaking so many good ones. Then let's get him into. I'm just kind of playing around at this point. This is usually the time in the review where I should give him a verdict, which we'll get to, I guess. But I'm just kind of showing what he can do and talking to people and having fun, you know. We did all our 4th of July stuff yesterday. We kind of shot off all the fireworks and had, fun time yesterday. There you go. Okay. There. Get that going there. Get that bend. Get that looking correct. That looks pretty good right there. Pew, 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 pew. Looks really good. I'm liking it. It's good times. Good times. But yeah, and he can stand neutral, kind of like he's I mean, every figure's good at standing neutral. Well, actually, some aren't. I've had some poopers in the day. Back in my day, there were some poopers couldn't stand. But he looks good. I like it. I like it quite a bit. Very much so. I like it. I like him. I like him. That look good. All right, so verdict. We'll go with verdict. As far as accessories go, I think he is loaded out perfectly. I wouldn't really add anything to him. I don't think. Well, no, he comes with a strap, so that's good enough. Top marksman at Stormtrooper Academy. Right? Pew, 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 pew. But I like his loadout. I think everything makes sense for him as far as the loadout goes, as far as the weaponry. I love it when everything can. I would actually prefer the right amount of accessories as opposed to like 7 heads, 5 hands, or 6 hands. Things that you have to put in a baggie. That's why I think I do enjoy the classified line in that aspect, is because everything kind of has a purpose. It's purposeful thought. How am I trying to articulate this? It's a purposeful thought process with these figures. Like there's a function with the form, and that's the most important thought. Oh my God, I can't talk. That's the most important thing about producing an action figure, is that the form must meet the function. And can everything store on the figure? Can the figure carry everything? Having a ton of accessories is fantastic, but I have enough baggies with enough accessories, and I don't need more baggies with more accessories. So I like it when they can just hold the stuff. It makes sense. It's cohesive. It works better that way. I like when a figure can store their own gear. Exactly, Woodman. I agree. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the full seal of approval, the 2 thumbs up. Go get him. You'll like him, I promise. I like the camo patterns. Their camo patterns are getting far better than what they started off with. The helmet sculpt is very well done. It's not overly leafy, but it's just enough, and I like the updated helmet for him. Head sculpt looks really good. Very pleased with that. Wish there was a little bit more detail on the backpack, but I mean, how many times are you going to see the backpack unless you're having them posed turned around, I like the little shamrock symbol on the one, and then the the stars and stripes on the other. I like the little grenade. I don't know what I'm saying now. I like the grenade on his. It almost looks like a smoke grenade, or maybe it's a flashbang. I don't know. I like the removable knife. Let's see if that removable knife can fit in his hand. Because actually, I did not do that, and I should do that. Because it looks very small and dainty. And yeah, it's not looking too good for the knife. But it almost looks like a little toothpick. You can kind of hold it, but he's holding it by the blade, and that doesn't look right. I can reform the hand, and it's very loose. So it's this is just for aesthetics, I think. Like I said, I could sit here and reform the hand, but you know. But yeah, definitely two thumbs up for him. Like I said, other highlights that I like about him. I like the sculpt of the vest. I think it makes sense for this character. There's some reuse with him, but there's also a lot of new stuff with him, which is really nice. I like the range of motion. I like the articulation. I like the fact that they even sculpted these little straps for his boots. That's really nice. You call that a knife? Now that's a knife. Oh, I love it. I like the little details for his belt, for his utility belt. I love the watch, and I love the fact that it actually has some digital numbers on there, which is pretty cool. No Joe Pro with him, no GPS with him, where some other figures like Duke and a lot of the others had them. Which I actually didn't mind this piece of a technology because I think it actually would have made sense for, certain things. Um, but some characters do have them and some characters don't. But it's fine. Not the biggest deal in the world. But yeah, cool figure overall. Definitely go get them. And yeah, I think that's gonna be it. Now this is the part of the review where I kind of just like to chat with people. And if you guys have any questions about the figure also, or if you want me to show a specific aspect of the figure up close and personal a little bit better, if I missed something, let me know, and I'll be more than happy to oblige. All right, I'm going to take a sip of water. Wet my palate. But yeah, I definitely chose him on purpose for the 4th of July. I think it just made a lot of sense for this guy, you know. But he's a lot of fun. I like him. I like him quite a bit. Let's bring in a jerk. Bring in a jerk. Here's a jerk. There's a jerk for you. Snowcat, yay or nay? I if the figure tiers were, like I said, okay, so if I could have picked if the figure tiers were, now for some people they're gonna really like those tiers, and that's perfectly fine. For me, I wish they were better. I'm not really sold on Arctic Lady J or Arctic Flint. That's just a personal preference thing. I just don't need another Lady J, nor do I need another Flint. Um, that doesn't really do any. Those tiers don't do anything for me. If I did get it, I'd probably sell those off because I simply don't need them. The accessories they come with are really cool. The fact that they come with like a little cup of Joe, pun intended, and it even says their names on the cups. That's pretty fun. I like that. I like little additions to even telling the lore within just a vehicle. It's like, oh, it's cold. You would want something hot, whether it's hot cocoa or coffee or something. But those are pretty cool. I like those little aspects. I like the fact that the bivouac is I think it's a good selling point. I think with already getting Snow Job and getting some other Arctic themed figures, it'll go well with this. I think the Arctic theme was a good way to go. I wonder if they're going to go the opposite direction of that now and do Cobra themed Arctic vehicle to kind of pit it against the Snowcat. Would I have picked the Snowcat this early into the HasLab? Because we haven't got that many HasLabs when you think about it. We've got, what, 3, 4? I think it's 3. Is it the 4th one? Yeah, it was the Hiss Tank, because I have the Hiss Tank. Then it was the Dragonfly. And then it was the Rattler. And now it's this one. Yeah, so this is the 4th one. I would have went... I'm probably in the minority here. I probably would have went with the Mobat, because you started with the Hiss Tank and you didn't really get a counterpart to the Hiss Tank. You got the Dragonfly, and then that got the Rattler, so that got a counterpart. But then now we got the Snowcat, so it's like now we got to go back to Cobra, and what's Cobra gonna offer? As far as that goes, I mean, I don't think that they would do something crazy like I think they would probably go maybe, because now they're doing Arctic. I would assume they're probably going to do some sort of, I mean, maybe a hydrofoil, but that would be huge. That would probably be like around $400 if they do a hydrofoil. Maybe 5, depending on how big they scale it. Wonder if they will retail release Tiger Force Snowcat down the road. I doubt it. I doubt it just because it's a HasLab and they're very stingy about their HasLabs. You know, it's like, oh, if you don't get it while you got it, then you're not going to get it. If you don't get it while you got it, then you're not going to get it. I don't know if that made any sense, but it sounded funny. So I'm going to go with it. Yeah, I don't think that they will release it just because it is a HasLab, you know? So, as far as the tiers go, so the tiers, I would have kept the bivouac. I think that makes sense, especially getting the fish that you can cook on the fire. And then I think you can get, like, there's something else. There's some sort of other dead animal that you can cook. I can't remember everything. I only watched the video once, so but I would have went with version 2 of Stalker with the, what's that called? The freaking, oh my god, I can't think of anything right now. The, like, canoe. It's not a canoe. I know it's not called a canoe. The, oh my god, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't spit it out. I hate it when this happens. Somebody's gonna let me know. Somebody let me know. Anyway, I would have went with version 2 of Stalker as far as that goes, because it was more Arctic themed. Kayak, there we go. Thank you, Terry. Appreciate you, bro. And then I would have went. I would have went with someone who I really don't think that they're going to do. That's kind of the point of tiers like this, which that's why I'm like, it's not the worst thing in the world getting a Flint and a Lady J, because they probably would never do those. That's kind of the point of it. I would have went with someone like Blizzard, because he's got a ton of stuff. Like, Blizzard could be a release down the road. I just don't know if they're really going to deem him as an important character, like, within the next couple years, even to go with something like that. But we definitely need more Arctic themed people, and I think we'll get somebody like a Blizzard down the road. He would have to be a deluxe figure, because those skis that he comes with and the backpack that turns into kind of like a sled, you know? Yeah, Blizzard was always a favorite of mine. I liked him. He's pretty awesome. Um, but I'm glad we're getting Frostbite. I'm glad that they decided to actually give him also a little bit of attention to detail. The closest thing that they could give him to a proper rifle with that the proper scope too, because I think it looks really good, and I think they did a pretty good job with all the accessories. I like the fact that it's got like it's modular where you can take the um what was it, the rocket launcher off the back and turn it into an APC. So, for those of you that, want to get like more than one if you want to, or if you can, then you really can have one as an APC and one as a regular snowcat. Probably an Arctic Snake Eyes. Yeah, I'm good on the Snake Eyes thing. I'm not really big on. I'm not a big Snake Eyes person. Like, though I was never really big on the ninja craze in the '90s. Like, I liked the fact that we had some, but I did when they started doing like Ninja Force, and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm checking out now. You guys are doing too much. Um, the Starlight Scope, yes, is his signature weapon. Yes, correct. Yeah, no Arctic, no more Snake Eyes, for the love of God. We're already getting that terrible blue one that we got in the '90s. That I always used to double purpose that Snake Eyes as Sub Zero for obvious reasons, but yeah. But yeah, what would the other? Yeah, probably Blizzard. Um, and maybe I would have done him in like a different color scheme so you can re-release him down the road in a different color scheme. Don't do his regular. What was it like? He kind of had like white, brown, and yellow color scheme. I would have kept that or saved that for like a deluxe figure because we all know that we're going to get um, the regular versions of all the Night Force figures that have been released. So, but yeah, I'm hoping that we get some other characters down the road, like some more paratroopers. I'm really hoping for a Hydra Viper. Um, he's like one of my favorite designs. I love his design. Uh, Guillotine and his whole team. That would be amazing if we could get them. I don't know if they'll do that, but that would be great. Or even if we just got Guillotine, that would be perfectly happy with me, or make me perfectly happy. um, what else? Free Fall. I would love a Free Fall figure. Sky Patrol, all of them. That would be make me happy. Um, Barrel Roll. I would love a 3-pack of Barrel Roll. What was his Blackout and Bomb Strike? That would be fantastic. If we can get those three, Shipwreck version 2, yeah, I wouldn't mind a version 2 of that Shipwreck. So you could kind of make them into like almost looking like that. Remember that dollar store? Wind Chill, Sub Zero, and Cold Front. Yeah, I don't know if they'll be able to do Sub Zero. They might have to change his name because of copyrights because of Mortal Kombat. But yeah, definitely Wind Chill, Cold Front. Um, I like all the Arctic Troopers. I think they did a banger job with that snow job. Banger job with that snow job. Yeah, that snow job is one of their. I think they're one of their best releases. To be honest with you, but yeah, who else? I'm trying to rack my brain here. Who's a really like? I'm trying to think of a really obscure, fun character that you could put in a HasLab. Like, what would you? Okay, so what would you guys want for the next HasLab if you could pick one? You missed out on Snow Job. Oh, I thought I could have swore he was on Pulse still. I can't check my. Let me see if I can plug my tablet in my iPad, and I can check and see. Because I swore I saw Snow Job on the website still. Or maybe I'm going bananas. I don't know. I'm probably going bananas. Low light. Agent Faces, that's a deep cut. Mobile Command Center? Ooh. I mean, I would love that, but I don't know if that would be like the size of half of my room. If they made an MMC. I have the MMC. But that would be something crazy if they did that. Bill, what's going on, man? I got 2 of these figures last week. Wow. Nice, yeah. Yeah. He's a fun one. He's definitely a fun. The flag, oh god lord. It's like $2,000 for a flag. Think of the tiers though. You would have to have Oh, here's another fun deep cut. General Flag Jr. That would be a nice release for a deep cut. Or I think it's General Flag 2, technically. I still have my childhood command center. Nice, man. People have it. The command center out of the foam board. Oh yeah, I actually have been wanting to make my own flag because getting a vintage flag, like you have to get it like complete, and they're so expensive complete. It's like I might as well just make my own, you know. Once I have the room, I would like to make one that's like actually scaled to like a bigger. If I get a bigger room, I would like to scale and build my own flag for 3 3/4 inch Joes that are actually to scale. Like just a big, annoying, massive one. But let me check because I could have swore, unless I'm going batshit crazy. That. Oh, no, yeah, no, he sold out. Boo. How much is he going for on the secondary? I'm going to check how much Snow Job's going for on the secondary market. Let's see. Oh, wow. That's a lot. $100? Jesus. Ugh. Let's go to lowest. I hate it when people just sell the box. Like, who's gonna pay? Who's gonna pay like $20 for just a box? Like, why would you ever say, yeah, you know what? That's a great deal. $20 for a box. What? Why? Yeah. Oh my God, he's going for just stupid prices. Like Lucy's going for like $60. Ugh. Get that out of my face. Although there's a whole lot of Joes. It's like, I think, Outback, Bazooka, Kamakura, and that ugly Falcon, and Snow Job, and the bid is up to $92. That's not bad if it sticks around that area. Are they complete? Let us check. That's why we're here. I only saw Snow Job once at Toys R Us and bought him fast. Oh, okay. That you must be in Canada then, because we don't have no. We only have Toys R Us's that are in lame malls here. It sucks, and I don't have a Toys R Us near me. So let me get him out of here. But yeah, I don't have a problem with the Snowcat. I think it looks really good. I think it's large. Um, I'm shocked they didn't just go with the APC. You know, for that, if you're, because it's like if they wanted to do an APC, and that's what Lenny said um in the live stream when they revealed it. I'm like, why didn't you just pick the APC then? But I mean, I don't know. Maybe they just wanted to do some sort of Arctic theme to go with that. Now, what is the counterpoint to that? So let's assume that they go with they're doing the Joes on this section. They could go with the Cobra Wolf. I think that would be probably a lot of people's pick. I don't know if some of these other ones are really small. I think the Wolf makes the most sense, and it's a larger one. The APC would have been great if they did it like the Action Force one by Palatoy. Oh, with the camo and stuff like that. Yeah, Solo. Yeah, yeah. I could see them doing a Wolf because it is a larger. It would be a larger vehicle, somewhat around that area. Probably a little smaller than the Snowcat, but still comparable. And that thing came with. I had that as a kid. I need to. It's one of those vehicles where I never rebought it. Trying to think what else they could go with, and it not be just like a repaint of something that's like, like that was like original and iconic to Cobra. But they don't have a lot of Arctic stuff. It's mostly like the Ice Saber, which is a smaller one, which I think something like that could be sold in retail. But I think the Wolf is the only other one that's like big enough. But let's see what else. Yeah, I love the Wolf too, man. It was a good one. Sorry, I'm just looking to see if there's anything else that's. I mean, there's the Ice Snake, but that's small. And there's like a whole bunch of repaints of the Hiss, just white. I still think that they should release a his tank that's got like a little bit less um, options. Like you take away the lights from the hiss, if you take away the extra accessories, obviously you wouldn't have any of the tiered figures. You just release the tank itself. I think that would sell pretty decently if you made it like a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. You keep it at around 150 bucks or something like that. And you just maybe you do the vehicle and just the driver. And that's it at 150 bucks. Yeah, you could do the 90s one. You could do the Hiss version too, which is always a nice one. I'm trying to think what else. I don't think there's really anything else. Okay, then you're getting into like Rise of Cobra stuff, which they had a lot of fun designs. Like the Rise of Cobra and even Retaliation Hiss tanks. Those were fun. What do you guys? Oh, so what's? I want to know everybody's opinion. I agree. I want to strip down Dragonfly too. Yeah, I would. I wouldn't mind that. Just you know, just offer Wild Bill with the Dragonfly, and get rid of the lights and all of the silly stuff, and just make it a regular just vehicle with no big features. You could take away all of the missile firing effects and stuff like that. Take away the effects. You know, I like to use my imagination anyway. Have they ever re-released a HasLab anything? No. No. Like I said, they probably will re-release, but they'll be painted in their more traditional classic looks. Some of the figures, absolutely. Like Crazy Legs is already he was announced in his regular colors, his traditional colors. I'm pretty sure they're going to do Ripcord because they specifically chose the Night Force for a reason. I don't know if they'll re-release Wild Bill. I mean, Wild Bill had a multitude of different looks throughout the years, so I mean they could. I think I think what Hasbro tries to do is they'll release a HasLab with figures and they kind of wait a little bit to re-release them as repaints. But I'm like, the tooling's already been done. I mean, the money's invested. Why not just do it right away, you know? Or at least like the next year. I don't really get. I never got the whole point of like making people wait a long time to get a thing that's already got tooling. It's very strange sometimes their decision making processes. Probably costs more to remove the electronics though. I would think it would cost more to put them in. Because when you think about it, removing them, I mean, you're just not putting them in, you know, because it's still the same mold, right? It's the mold itself, and then you just simply don't put them in. So you're just putting a plastic shell together with more plastic pieces. That's it. You just wouldn't have the classic canopy. You wouldn't have the side panels that were interchangeable. You wouldn't have any of the effects that it came with. And you wouldn't have the lighting. And I think that saves you a ton of money. And you don't have any of the... You would have only one figure as opposed to, what, 4 figures? 3 or 4 figures? So that's a big difference in cost. Like a huge difference. If you're really trying to shrink down that price as much as possible, because the Hiss tank was only $300. I think a lot of that cost goes into, you know, lighting and figures and extra accessories and stuff like that. Just if you dumb it down, I think you could get away with that. But I think it would sell. I mean, even if they price it at $200 and it comes with a driver, or the Dragonfly comes with Wild Bill, people pay $200 for it. You and I both know it. They would. So even if it's $100 cheaper, they'd be like, "Yeah, I'll pull the trigger on that because I missed out on the HasLab." And sure, it doesn't have lights or sounds or extra accessories and stuff. It's just kind of bare bones, but I'll take it. You know, I mean, obviously, you would have to have the missiles and stuff like that because then it would cease to be the actual vehicle. But the extra bits of features that make a HasLab, I guess, a HasLab, you would take that away. So, but that's just, I don't know. That's my opinion on it. But other than that, if we don't have any more questions, comments, or concerns, I think I might call it a day here. And bid you all a farewell. But yeah, I will be back with Blowtorch's review, and that'll just be a regular review. Probably not going to do a live one with him. So I'll do a regular review of him, and then I got some more DC figures to do reviews of. I don't like my Marvel Legends reviews never do well. I'll probably wait for that whole team. I usually try and do whole teams when I do a Legends review because I really don't do too many of them. Just because nobody watches them. But yeah, I have a lot more DC figure reviews coming. Some more Star Wars stuff, definitely, and stay tuned for more Joe stuff. And that's gonna be about that. Thanks, Solo Center. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, you have a great night, and I hope all of you have a great and have had a great 4th of July and have a wonderful weekend as well. And I will probably see you guys next week, probably sometime in a review. Thank you to everybody who tuned in today. Thank you so much to everyone, including the super chat that I got from Solo Center. Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much, sir. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great, like I said, great 4th of July. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And like I said, check those channel memberships if you want to. If not, that's cool too. Totally understand. But thank you to Woodman. Thank you to Samuel Edwards. Thank you to Terry Turner. Thank you to Nylock28. And let me see if that's it. Solo Center as well. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate you. And yeah, this was a lot of fun. And I hope you guys have a great night. Thank you to everyone, including all the lurkers. If you're just watching, thank you so much for the support. I appreciate you guys. And have a great day. And I'll see you guys on the flip side.